Samsung Galaxy A15. It's big, it's pretty, it's got a 5000 mAh battery, but is it worth your money in 2024? My name is Alan Kafiwe, and let's find out. Now, straight off the bat, we're going to talk about the build and the design. The Samsung Galaxy A15 has a squared off boxy look. It's covered in glass on its front, but has a plastic back, and the frame around it is also made out of plastic. Now, of course, the narrative with these mid-range smartphones is that they tend to feel cheap due to the use of plastic. However, Samsung does this thing with the plastic where they manage to make it feel like glass, and this is no exception, because all the people that I asked about whether or not they thought this phone was made out of glass literally thought it was. So big up to Samsung for that minimalistic but very sophisticated design. Now at the bottom we've got a headphone jack, which is a myth nowadays in smartphones, and right next to it we've got USB-C 2.0. I really love this design. I'm a huge fan. It really feels premium even though it's not. And moving on to the screen, this screen measures 6.5 inches corner to corner. It's got a beautiful Super AMOLED panel which has amazing viewing angles outdoor or indoors. It's got a maximum brightness of 800 nits and has a 90 Hz refresh rate, which can actually make it feel as if it's not a mid-range smartphone. It's very responsive, it's very quick. I really love this design. I'm a huge fan. Of course, this has a teardrop instead of a hole punch. I much prefer the hole punch, but if you're going to get the mid-range smartphones, you can expect the teardrop anyway, because that helps in cutting and cost in the manufacturing process. So design gets an easy 4 out of 5. Moving away from the design, we're going to talk about the performance, and this is where things begin to look down for the Samsung Galaxy A15. And the Samsung Galaxy A15 out of the box comes with an octa-core processor with a Mali G57 MC2 GPU. Now, to give you an idea of how this translates in real day usage, you can play games like PUBG or Call of Duty Mobile, but nothing bigger than that. You don't expect to do many graphics intensive activities like video editing or carrying out big renders, but you should be able to get away with just, browsing the web, navigating through the UI, browsing Facebook, WhatsApp, updating your status, taking pictures, just the basics. It performs reasonably well overall, except for those graphics intensive things. It comes with Android 14 and you should be able to get 2 years of updates and 3 years of security updates, so you shouldn't be worried about that if you just got it. It came out last year and you have 2 more years until it stops supporting it, so you can at least relax in that department. This phone, in terms of performance, gets a 3 out of 5, which is pretty mid. Now, moving away from the performance, we're going to talk about battery life, which is its biggest strength. Now, the battery life of this phone is amazing. It's got a 5000 mAh battery, which is supposed to get you through the day, but sometimes can get you through 2 whole days, and I'm not kidding, 2 whole days even with the data on. It's well optimized, it's full HD, so you're not really compromising screen for that battery life. I really love it. Long story short, there's nothing much that can be said. It's got spectacular battery life. Moving on to the cameras.
The Samsung Galaxy A15 has a triple camera layout, a 50 megapixel main camera, wide angle lens of f1.8 aperture for that detail, a 5 megapixel ultra wide lens, and finally a 2 megapixel macro lens for close-ups. Other features include panorama, HDR, and of course an LED flash. The Samsung Galaxy A15 can take up to 1080p 30 FPS video. With all that being said, we are here to put it to the test.
Now, my very beautiful friend / model Judy already got you acquainted with the spec sheet of the cameras. After testing it out, simply put, it's got pretty basic cameras. So you're not expecting to do some very deep photography or get spectacular results or mind-blowing. You just expect basic performance. The images sometimes feel a bit over-processed and could have that oily look to it, whether it's just point and shoot, portraits, low light photography, or video recording. You expect similar results that are just basic. Mid for the cameras. It doesn't really blow your mind in any way, but at least produces consistent results which you can rely on, and most people are just going to be okay with these results. And camera performance, we're going to get a 3 out of 5. So at the end of every video, I explain this grading system and how to interpret it. We have 4 categories, each running from 1 to 5, having a running total of 20. So if your phone scores between 1 and 5, don't get it, it's dog water, throw it away. And if the phone scores between 6 and 10, then still don't get it, because you're getting compromises that just don't make sense. Only get it if you really can afford anything above 10. Now the phones that run from 10 to 15 are just good. They're not great, you're getting them at compromises that actually make sense. And those that are at 16 and 17 are the great phones, nothing missing, not spectacular but sufficient in all areas. And of course 18 to 20 are the amazing, top of the line, get if you can afford. So with all of that said, adding all the totals together, the Samsung Galaxy A15 scores a decent 15 out of 20. So this is a pretty solid phone, solid battery, decent cameras, not so great performance, and a pretty good looking build. Now if you've gotten to the end of the video, leave a like on the video if you like content like this, subscribe to the channel as well, and turn on your post notifications so you get notified each time I post a video. See you on the next one. I'm out.